Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Talk Gutters. You ever wonder what it costs to actually put gutters on your home today? Guess what? You're about to find out because we're going to cover all the styles that are on the market today. As for you DIYers, we got your back too because you're going to find out how you can actually have seamless gutters on your house for the same price as what the big box charge for this crap here. So with that said, let's do this thing. Welcome to Let's DIY My Home, where like-minded people are working together to tackle your project. Everything from a complicated remodel to as simple as repairing a door. That's letsdiyimyhome.com. We'll see you there. Okay, I guess the first thing we need to do is talk about the different style of gutters. Okay, there are about 5 different styles that are out there, and let me show you them real quick. You've got the aluminum fascia style up on the left. You've got the ABC seamless, which is also a fascia style. That's probably one of my favorites. Then we've got the plastic K gutters, which are typically your plastic K. The plastic gutter, there is a plastic K style gutter too. Doesn't matter. And aluminum K style on the bottom, which is also available in seamless and at the big box store. Now, so keep in mind the big box stores only sell 10-foot chunks of gutter. So you got a lot of pieces on that 200-foot gutter job that we're about to talk about. In the middle is called a box style gutter. That's probably another one of my favorite gutters to put up, or also known as a Rain Pro. And then also the Cadillac of all gutters, the Leaf Guard. Only you are going to know which one's best. Now, when it comes to pricing these things out, I decided to make a drawing of a house right here. Okay, the upper left corner, you'll see the little O, you'll see an L shape, and then you'll see a bunch of dashes. The O is next to downspouts, the L represents miters, and those dashes represents gutters. The little slash mark next to the end cap represents end cap. Now, let me explain this to you. So I think what I need to do, I'm going to bounce over to another screen just because I can use my PowerPoint presentation thing. And yeah, oh yeah, isn't that nice? Okay. Whoa, I'm on the wrong screen. Let me bounce back. Now, there we go. We're on the right thing. So there's the O, downspouts, L, miters. We got 4 of each. The gutters are the dashes. There's 200 feet. There's the little dash I was talking about, the end caps. On this drawing, right there's the dash there, dash there. That's a gable end. That's either the start or the end of the gutter. Doesn't matter. We need to put an end cap on them. Those little circles, one there, one on the bottom. On each side, those are all the downspouts. That's where we want to, the water, where we're going to direct the water flow. These little dashes are the gutters. Because I'm not very smart, I made sure I kept the numbers simple. 40, 80, 30, 40, and 10. I don't even need a calculator. That's 200 feet of gutters. So those are the numbers we're going to use to price this gutter job out. And we're going to price them out in all 5 of those styles of gutters. So you're going to get an idea of what it costs, whether you're doing seamless, big box, or fascia style gutters. The next thing that we also need to talk about is the downspouts, because when we talk about these pricings, you're going to notice that I talk about downspouts. Here's how they are put together. You have an elbow there, and an elbow down here. There's 3 elbows. Okay, they're either A's or B's. If you're a DIYer and you're going to do this yourself, I'm going to tell you a trick so you don't have to worry about which one's an A and B and what they mean. Just get 3x3 downspouts and miters, and elbows I mean, and you can just snap them together and zip screw them and be done with it. And then you can point that water in any direction you want to go. So this particular picture, we've got 3 of them. It's a simple rambler. We got 4 drops, you remember on that picture? So we need 12 elbows and 40 feet of downspouts. Now, guys, I'm going to let you know a trade secret so you don't get yourself in trouble right off the bat because you're saving money. Make sure you order more than 4 downspouts because most likely you need to get past the edge of the flower garden or your wife's going to have your hindy when you wash out her daisies, okay? So, with that said, that's how we're pricing this thing out. And I think the best way to do this is we're going to come back here and start with the big box stores. What are some of the pros? Obviously, they're DIY projects. So if you don't have a whole lot of gutters to put up, this is perfect. The negatives to them, you're only available in white and brown. There is no warranty. The gutters are fairly reasonable, but the accessories will cost you an arm and a leg, okay? And this is what I mean. Here, let me switch this over. We're going to wipe you on it. Yep, you didn't hardly even notice it, because now I'm back to this tool again. The gutters, we got 200 feet of gutters. Let's price this big box store out, and I'm going to get through this as quick as I can. They're $7.90 a piece to get exact, but divided out by 10 feet, that gives us 79 cents a foot. We got 200 feet of gutters, that's $158. Miters, remember those 4 miters? And we got 2 end caps. These pricings that you're looking at right here came from Home Depot. This is their high-end big box store gutters. I am going to need my, there it is, in a second here. So I just came and grabbed a part so you didn't see me do that. Seam, oh, we need to talk about that. Let's bounce back here because we need to talk about this. What the heck is a seam piece? Right here, the seam piece and caulk. They're $467. There's 21 pieces. I'm going to talk about those in just a second. They're $98. I'm going to kill the seam pieces and hangers together. This is funny. The hangers, $259 a piece. Now, I live in an old farm home type home, so I have 160 hangers on my house because my rafters are 16 inches on center, and you do want to anchor those to the rafter tails, not just to the fascia. So that's $403.20. The darn hangers cost more than most of the gutter projects, but they're critical, and I'll explain them in a second. Downspouts, $9.90 each. Okay, that's 4 of them. We need $40 worth of downspouts. Elbows, $4.50 each. We got 20. Now, wait a minute. If I just told you that each downspout is 3, and we got 4, that's 12. I'm not that dumb. So what are these extra pieces? Those are actually the hangers you're going to need to hang this thing against the wall of the house. Okay? So that's $96.30, giving us a total of $858. Or if we took the total cost of this, divided it out by the 200 feet of gutters, it's $429 a foot is what it costs us to put them expensive big box store gutters on. Now, back to this. Let's talk about this for a second. There's 2 things I want to talk about. One is, whoops, wrong screen. One is the seamless or the seam pieces. If you got a 20-foot run, that means we got a 20-foot piece of fascia that we want to put these gutters on. I'm going to need 2 pieces. Where these gutters butt together, that is a seam. So we need a seam cover. That's what they call them, a seam plate. That gets zip screwed. Then we got to caulk them. That's what that seam piece and caulking is all about. Okay? Now, let me move over a little bit so I'm not in the way of the screen. Oh, I should have a sip of coffee. The other critical part is gutter hangers. Let's see if this thing is going to cooperate for me. And no, it's not. But if I do this, it will. There we go. See? That is the only gutter hanger, whether you're doing it yourself or you're contracting it out. That's the only gutter hanger you should be using. They'll look like this. Take a screenshot because that's what you want on your home. These are the strongest and the best gutter hangers on the market today. Okay? And that's the only thing that we install. The reason this is, there's another one out there that looks very similar to this, except it has a hole right back here, like you see here, okay? That's where this screw comes through, except there's a hole in the face of it as well, right there. And you just screw right through here, through the gutter, into, most of the time it's fascia, when it should be going into the rafter tails, and I'm going to explain that here, okay? Those particular hangers have this same L-shaped look right here that you're seeing. Let's see if I can zoom in. Right there, you can just see that seam piece. Let's see if I can get it to go. Come on, there it is. That's where the gutter slides behind, that piece right in there. Now here, the cheap ones come straight out. The idea this way for flexing The cheap ones will work just fine. There's nothing wrong with them. They'll hold the gutter. The ice won't push them out because it has the structural strength this way. The problem lies in is if anybody ever lays a ladder up against them, they will just buckle and the whole gutter will get crunched in. They're garbage, okay? And over time, don't ask me how, they get bent. The gutter starts to hang, whether it's, if you're in the northern states, the ice build up, the weight, there's just no structural strength to them. Where these things, I can't really bend them because they're molded and then the edges are hemmed over. So it's almost like a I-beam type construction, which makes this thing extremely strong. So these are the gutter hangers you want. Whoever's hanging the gutters on the house, here, let me grab a piece of a box gutter right here, back here on my bench. This is a piece of box gutter. This thing will actually snap in like so and pop down on there. That's how they're installed. Then this gets screwed up against the fascia board. But the catch-22 is, ask them, when you're getting estimates on this stuff, how do you hang your gutters? Most of the time they're going to go, what do you mean? How do you screw onto your gutters? Well, we just screw them up through the fascia board. You send them right down the highway because those gutters in time will fall off. The fascia boards aren't that strong. These gutter brackets need to be anchored into the rafter tail. And if they're honestly hanging them right, they would be screwed into the rafter tail. The newer homes aren't 16 inches on center, they're 24 inches on center. So you can take 30% of these gutter hangers away because you don't need as many on a newer home. But for hearsay, that's what we're doing. So that kind of gives you an example. I'm going to set this aside because we're going to talk about this again. Again, here's a cheap piece of plastic crap that is useless. And I see that on a lot of homes where DIYers went down and got that. And it's just not, I wouldn't even put it on my doghouse. All right. The next one that we're going to cover is going to be the seamless gutters. Now, you notice all of a sudden the parts list ain't near as big, but we went from $4.29 a foot to $10 a foot. Quite a bit difference. So, what are the pros to it? Obviously, a ton less seams, much stronger looking gutter, much nicer looking gutter. They do consider them a one-piece system. I don't understand how, but the main gutters are seamless, but you still have miters in the corners, and each corner has two seams, potentials of leaks. So let's talk about this one for a second. I'm just going to back it out. Everybody get a good look at it. I'm just going to highlight this and keep moving forward. Now, on this particular one, you will see that the gutters are $6.50 a foot. Okay? $6.50 a foot. You got 200 feet of gutters, $1,300 in cost. Now, I will tell you, I have found people doing them for $5.50. Does cheaper mean better? Not always. I've also found them at $7.50 a foot. More expensive mean better workmanship? That's where the questions come out. Okay? Asking the right questions will help you decide whether you want to spend $7.50 a foot for seamless gutters or $6.50 a foot. And I know our installers charge us $6.50 a foot, and we get what we want. So that's what's important. So you got $1,300 in gutters. All of a sudden now miters. You still got to pay for miters. Each one of those pieces are required. Every home is different. Some have more, some have less, so we charge by the miter. $25 a piece. Again, there's $100. Downspouts is 40 feet, $15 a foot. Is $600 worth of downspouts. Now, I will tell you, when you get your estimates, most of the time, the gutter guys are going to charge you by the drop. Okay, that's what they call a downspout, as a drop. Okay, if it's a single-story drop, they charge you $150. I've seen it $175, and I've seen them $135. Each one of the gutter installers are a little bit different. Depends who needs to work more. So, okay, that's how that little game works. So you can get 135, but I use $15 a foot. If you got a 2-story home, that's 8, 16. You got a 2-foot overhang, that's 3, that'd be 19, plus some extras, 20 feet. So obviously, if 4 sides of the house, that would, instead of being 600, you would have 1,200. So that gives you an idea. Okay. Now, that became $10 a foot. You know what, folks? If you're getting value out of this thing, do me a favor and click the like button below, as well as hit the subscribe button. That really benefits this video and makes sure others like yourselves get value as well. DIYers, it is your turn. This is how you get seamless gutters for the same price as the big box stores. Okay, you're going to order what they call chop and drop. Most gutter guys do chop and drops. Not very often, because people don't know about it. And very few DIYers ever call and ask for a chop and drop. What a chop and drop actually means is that they're going to come out with their seamless truck, pull up in front of the yard, climb out of the truck, set up all their stands right down the row, so that way they can spool out the material, the gutter, out of the truck. It comes on a huge coil, typically 500 pounds, and that thing will go through a machine and it gets formed to the K-style gutter or fascia style gutter, depending on what you're ordering, and it spins it out to whether it's 10 foot. If it's 10 foot, that's where they stop. They chop it. That's cutting it. It's called chopping it. Then they pick it up, drop it in your front yard. And I do literally mean drop it in your front yard, so don't expect anything more than that. All right? That's chop and drop. You can get that for about the same price as the big box stores. Catch 22. You need to tell them you want all the miters and the elbows to go with it, and end caps. You have to tell them how many you need. So, what does that mean? That means you go back, here, I'm going to bounce back to here, make yourself a drawing. You can literally give them this drawing that you made up of your home, show them, they'll understand that 100%. All you have to do is tell them that the downspouts are 10 feet or 15 feet, and they will give you the materials you need. That's called a chop and drop. And the time you get that done, that will actually be about the same price as you going down and wasting a half a day of your time pulling the parts together at Lowe's or Home Depot. You can just call them and they actually will deliver it and do it in front of your home. So in other words, stop buying gutters at the big box store. You're wasting your money. You're not winning. You're losing. Okay? Now, if you got an 80-foot gutter, as you saw in that drawing, you better be very good friends with your neighbor, because you're going to need a second hand to get them done. The next one's called the box style gutters. I'll get it out. Or Rain Pro. Now, I don't remember if Rain Pro is a franchise or not, but I do know the box style gutters are available from a lot of the gutter guys. Now, this is a box style gutter right here. Okay? This is probably my favorite gutter because it carries the most amount of water out of any of the gutters. One of the reasons I like this is a 5-inch gutter, just the same as the typical K gutters, a 5-inch gutter. This will actually carry the same amount of water as a 6-inch gutter does. Okay? Now, so the steeper the roof is, the bigger gutter you want. Okay? You got a big house, 2-story home, 12-12 pitch. You can't walk on the darn thing. It's dangerous. You want this big fascia style gutter, or you want a gutter similar to what ABC Seamless sells. Okay, this one's aluminum, ABC Seamless is steel. This thing will carry the water. The biggest issue we have is wherever we come together on a corner, and it's always by the front door. Whoever draws up these houses need to get cold cocked. Okay, because they put a 90-degree miter right by the front door. Guess what happens in the middle of the winter in the northern states? That is where all the ice is at. Okay? Or that is where all the water gets dumped and washes out my wife's flower beds. So, and So what we've done today is we've actually made a flange that sits up about that high. It's a rain diverter is what they're called. It's an L shape. So when the water comes down the valley and it attempts to overshoot the gutter, it hits that rain diverter and it'll send the water back over here or back over here. But it doesn't allow it to go over the gutters. So rain diverters are very important to do that. Even on a low pitch Rambler style house where you can, I don't have a K style gutter here, or I would show it to you. Okay. The K style gutters are just absolutely fine on the Ramblers. They're 412 to 612 pitch. They're not a very steep roof. They catch all the water, no issues. If you got trees, you got leaf issues, guess what? We're going to cover that next week. So you want to make sure you hit the little bell thing down and you'll be notified. And I've got about 8 different gutter cover styles that we're going to go over. And hopefully I'm going to be able to demonstrate them. So, okay, let me set that over here. So on this box style gutters, again, you've got the gutters. There's $8.75 a foot. You notice it went up about $2.25. And you got, I can do the math. You got 200 feet, $1,750 worth of gutters. Miters, we got the 4, $50 a piece. There's $200. The downspouts, there's $650 a foot. There's 40 feet. You got $260. Elbows are $850. Now we got 12 of those. Okay, because the seamless guys, they don't charge for the brackets. I can go back to 12 on the box style gutters. That gives us a total of $2,300.12. Not that much more than what a K-style gutter is, but it carries 10 times the water. It is much thicker product, less chance and less susceptible to denting and hail. Okay, it will dent from hail, don't get me wrong, but less chance of damage. Okay, a little bit stronger material because of their size. Now, the next one. Why do I keep closing that? Is my second favorite one. Now you notice I've done these in series, or in line as far as price goes. I have to tell you, the price on the ABC gutters, this came from about a year ago from a storm damage project. I used to sell these things many years ago when I worked for ABC. I'm not going to say what store I'd worked out of because then they would know where I came from. Okay, and who I am. But I sold these things for years. They're a phenomenal gutter. I still like them today, and I would definitely put them on my home, depending where it is. Water-wise, I will take the box style. Looks-wise, I will take the fascia style. There's not a huge difference in cost between that box and the ABC seamless one. Okay, let's see. I back up here. Okay, I'm sorry. There's $1,000 difference in cost. So I guess that is a big difference. My bad. And I also see another issue. Look at the top right corner, the $1,156 a foot. That's not its cost. That was the cost of the box style gutters. So let me just fix this real quick because I'm not going to edit the video. Where's my calculator? That should be, let's go 3560 divided by what? 200 feet, right? That's $1,780 a foot for those. ABC hasn't gone up that high. So I know that I'm probably within 10% of its cost. Box style, I know for a fact I'm right there. This one, I can be high 10%, low 10%. You're only going to get this from ABC Seamless. You won't get that gutter anywhere else. So fascia style gutter, metal, more susceptible or less susceptible against hail. It is actually stronger than the box style gutters. So those are least likely to droop. One of the things I really like about ABC Seamless, because it's a franchise, very much like McDonald's, okay? They make the franchise the same way every time for a reason, because they're never burnt. They taste the same. I don't care when you go there. They're always, I know I have gotten them cold, but they're cooked the same. Okay? ABC Seamless teaches their guys, they take their butts up to Fargo, they go through training, and then they're sent back to the field to learn to actually start installing gutters. So ABC makes sure that their crews are actually trained to install these things correctly. That's one of the things I really like about them. Okay? And if you ever go to their website, you're going to notice that they're actually a couple guys grabbing the gutters and hanging from them. Can they really do that? Yes, they can. That's the difference between steel and aluminum. Much stronger, much more durable, 10 times the gutters. Plain and simple. Okay? If you decide you want to buy those and put leaf guards on top of them, then you're going to want to look at the next gutter because you're pretty much paying for them. Okay? Now, next gutter. That's going to be the leaf guard. That is the Cadillac of Cadillacs when it comes to gutter systems. It is the only gutter on the market today that is guaranteed against clogging. So if you got a tremendous amount of leaves, that's the gutter you need to have on the house. Okay? It will never fail you. Can you plug it? Sure it can, because I've actually seen a beehive get developed in it. Far and few, but not very. I only saw it one time, okay? But the fact is, animals, bees, can get in there. They make nests. It can happen. Kill them off, then we got to clean them out. Plain and simple. Not a big deal. But the fact is, you don't have to clean them out. You call Leaf Guard, you get put on their service list, and eventually they'll get out there and get it taken care of. Leaf Guard gutter systems. As far as I'm concerned, they're the second nicest looking gutter on the market. With gutter covers, they're dang good. They're probably top of the line as far as looks go. Color options, many colors. Not an issue. You can match pretty much anything you need and want. One-piece gutter system, absolutely. Oh, we're going to jump back to facial style gutters at ABC. I got to touch on one more thing that I like about the ABC seamless gutters that no other manufacturer does or installer does. So let me finish this and I'm going to jump back. So hang in there. I'm going to point out something that you really need to know. 200 feet of gutters, $26.75 a foot. That is as of last spring. 200 feet is $53.50. Miters, $75 each. 4 of them is $300. Okay, they have to pay the franchise fees, so that you're going to pay more. Downspouts, $8.50 each. Gone up $2 a foot. So that's 40 feet, 340. I said each, I meant foot. Elbows, $8.50 a piece. You got 12 pieces, that's $102. Altogether, that 200-foot gutter job just cost you $6,000, folks. And they do offer financing. I am not knocking them. You pay for what you get. Okay? Would I put them on my house? Probably another 5 years, I won't have a problem putting them on my house. Okay? And that's because I'm at the point to where I don't like going up ladders anymore. And the last thing I want to do is hire the neighbor's kid to go up on my house to go clean out my gutters or to address issues. If he slips and falls, that $6,000 gutter bill that I just could have paid out is way cheaper than what his surgery would ever be if he got hurt, let alone killed. So Leaf Guard gutters really are worth their weight in gold, period. Back to the ABC Seamless. Now, I told you I wanted to jump back for a second. Let's jump back here. Right back here. And I'm going to zoom in on this. And actually, I'm going to do this on this projector in front of me here. And we're going to pull this up here. Whoops, wrong screen. Fade that in there. Boink. Here we go. Now, do you notice something here? Look at this thing closely. Look at the miters. I intentionally put this miter right here. You don't see a miter. You see it's still a miter because it wraps around a corner and it's not seamless. But they don't use a regular miter joint like a traditional gutter. This has one seam versus two. Less chance of leakage. 100%. If you're there, trade secret for the DIYers that are listening. If you're going to hang your own gutters, please do not use silicone. Silicone is not meant for gutters. Plain and simple. Silicone, I'm going to say it again. Silicone is not meant for gutters. Period. You use gutter caulk. If you're at Lowe's and Home Depot, go to the gutter section back there. They have caulk for gutters. What's nice about that caulk is you take your caulk gun, you go right down along the cover plate and the seams, and you just squirt it with the gun. You don't have to touch it. It will flow in and seal off the gutter so it doesn't leak. My favorite type of caulk is a polyurethane. That does not flow into the seam. That is messier. But on the same hand, you will never have a leak. The gutter caulk, because you're just squeezing it in there, and if it doesn't flow into the seam properly, you may not notice it the first rain, but the second rain, you start noticing that you have a leaky gutter. It's a bear to fix. I prefer to use a polyurethane caulk. I go in there, take my finger. Another trade secret, polyurethane caulk sticks to your fingers, and it gets all over everything. Okay? So, trade secret. I lick my finger, I stick it right in there, and I swirl that caulk with my finger. I pull it off, take and wipe it off with my rag, and I have very little caulk on my hands. Okay? Or put a little oil on your finger. I don't care. And that way you can rub it right down into the seams and grooves and seal it up really well. With that said, you folks have a fantastic evening. God bless you all. See you next week. Bye now.